Chapter 1 of A Candle for Our Lady. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Maria Therese. A Candle for Our Lady by Regina Victoria Hunt. Chapter 1. Jemmy Reynolds stiffened to the challenge of Ralph Weaver, the sheepherder's son. Terms of the lease say you're to enclose only the pasture. Well? Ralph was 2, perhaps 3 years older than Jem's 13 years. A big, loutish youth, with a broad face and eyes like pale blue marbles. What if we make this part of the pasture? He swept out his arms to include the surrounding Bedford fields, grass-grown and starred with meadow-sweet, then brought his hands to rest on the rail fence of the enclosure. Jem's dark eyes smouldered. It's against the law and the contract your father made with mine when he leased these 10 acres of our freehold. That's what of it, Ralph Weaver." "Oh, no, we're well within the statute of 1534. "1/8 arable? You've turned it all to meadow." Ralph laughed. "Not quite. A harrow driven across yon field will fill the conditions of the law." He winked to emphasize the shrewdness of the reckoning. "It's a trick!" Jem cried, anger flushing his strong-jawed yet sensitive face. To think that his father, now 3 years dead, had been deceived by such petty schemesters. A cheap, dishonest trick, worthy of cheating tradesmen turned sheep-shearers. Ralph's light eyes went lighter. He thrust his broad face over the fence. "You impudent churl's son! I've a mind to—" But Jem had vaulted the fence to land a solid blow on his tormentor's jaw. Taken by surprise, Ralph teetered and almost lost his footing on the damp rolling ground. He raised a hand to his jaw, regarding Jem as he would a gentle sheep-dog gone suddenly on a rampage. "Take it back," said Jem, his brown eyes looking black and sparked with anger. His small but sturdy body tensed for a new assault. "No Charles breed are we, but landed freeholders these 100 years and more." But Ralph had recovered now. "I'll show you how I'll take it back, you impudent—" And catching Jem by the front of his russet jerkin, he tried to thrash him with a leather-thonged whip in his right hand. Jem was too quick for him, though. Hot with fury, he dived under Ralph's outswung arm, and turning, twisted the whip from his hand. But before he could swing it back to strike, Ralph, with his longer reach, had him again by the jerkin, and thrusting out his foot, tripped and threw him. Arms akimbo, he threw back his head and laughed uproariously at Jem sprawled on his back. Only for a moment. The next, Jem was up and springing with a force that knocked the big youth off his feet. Jem fell with him, and the thud brought blood to his head and loosed his grip on the whip. But he clung to his enemy, raining blows where he could, and receiving them back with interest. And since the ground was sloping and moist from October rains, they were rolling, barrel-wise, down the length of the enclosure, while the wan light faded, and the Weaver sheep looked on with neutral eyes. Someone else was looking too, and hurrying toward the scene from the Reynolds side of the enclosure, with the quick bounding steps of 11 years. From his uncertain position on top of Ralph, Jem knew without looking that it was his sister Joan. "Jem, what are you up to? And you, Ralph Weaver, a man almost. Why don't you pick a fight with someone your own age?" "Stay out of this, Joan." Jem turned to give her an angry look. But Ralph took advantage of the second that Jem's head was turned, pushed him off, and staggered to his feet. "Sorry, Miss Joan," he said, "but your hot-head brother was spoiling for a fight. As you see, this is our side of the enclosure." "Your side?" Jem echoed hotly. "Jem," Joan commanded, "leave off this brawling, or I'll fetch Cousin Will to make you." "That'll not be necessary," said Ralph Weaver. "I've more important tasks than the basting of a wild boy." He recovered his whip in the grass and twirled it with an arrogant look at Jem. "Good day to you." And he went swaggering up the slope, leaving Jem to turn in fury on the girl. "Why did you, Joan? Couldn't you see I was giving him what he asked for?" "I saw you were like to get some bones broke." Joan
Sample complete. Ready to continue?